Hello friends, welcome to my channel. In this video, I am taking you inside my everyday makeup bag and sharing all the products I rely on when I am getting ready. I'll walk you through each item and mention them in the order of the application. This makeup collection includes both the high-end and some affordable drugstore option, also as there are multiple products where you don't need to splurge. I'll also talk about the brushes I use. Also, the makeup bag I'm using is a 2-compartment bag with plenty of space where one compartment fits in all the makeup and the other one is for the brushes. As my skin is prepped with the skincare routine which I have shared the video earlier, I will link that below so you can watch that. So without further ado, let's begin. Step 1 is a primer which is optional. But if you'd like your makeup to last long or if you have textured skin, always use a primer. I like to use a drugstore option for my primer and e.l.f. for that is the best choice. I also have textured large pores which I like to fill in with a Maybelline Instant Pore Eraser. Step 2 is the foundation or the base like a skin tint, where I have multiple options. For everyday use, I'll go with a drugstore e.l.f. satin foundation or I'll use a serum based formula. On the special occasion days, I like to use the NARS Light Reflecting Foundation, and on glam days, I'll go with the Natasha Denona High Glam Foundation. I'll use a dense brush like this from Morphe or NYX to apply my foundation. Next, I go with the color corrector for my intense dark brown under eye circles, like this one from Huda Beauty Peach Color Corrector. I use the Morphe concealer brush to apply this. Then it's time for concealers. So for winter months, I'd like to use something hydrating like the Natasha Denona concealer, or in summer I'd prefer to use something like with a full coverage like the Huda Beauty Faux Concealer. Another great option for everyday use is the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer or a drugstore option like the e.l.f. Camo Concealer. And again I'll use the Morphe concealer brush. I have 2 of these brushes. Once my concealer is applied, I like to quickly set it up with a setting powder before it dries and set into the fine lines. So for that I'll use either a brush or a puff like this. I like to use a Huda Beauty setting powder. This is the old packaging as a little bit goes a long way and I don't prefer baking. I just barely use the powder. While my base is setting up and before I apply the products like the bronzer and blush, I like to proceed with the eye makeup. For eyeshadow palettes, I have multiple options. The Natasha Denona Eye Nude palette is the everyday usage palette, both for winters and summer. Next is the Huda Beauty Pretty Crunch palette, which I like to use mostly in winter, where I get the option of more dramatic colors like these eggplant shades. Next I have is this Too Faced Natural Nudes palette, which is great for warm tone looks. These are all the eye makeup brushes I use, like a crease brush, the outer corner brush, the eyelid packing brush and the eyeliner brush. Next I'll do my eyebrows, and for that I'll use this option or a drugstore option from e.l.f. Let me know in the comment section below if you'd like me to do a review or swatches on these palettes and I can create a separate video on that. Once my eyeshadow is applied, I'll proceed with the eyeliner in my waterline and upper tight lining. For that, I like to use this option from the Sephora line. Please note that I haven't used mascara yet, as I'd like to apply that at the very end, and I'll tell you shortly why. Now, as my base has dried up, I'll proceed with the contour. So for that, I'll use the Sephora contour stick for winter, as this shade gives more cool tone effects, and the Rare Beauty for summer, as this gives me more warm tone effects. Next are bronze on the perimeters of my face, and for that I like to use a cream bronzer like the Laguna from NARS for winter or a powder bronzer like the Physicians Formula. I'll use a brush like this to contour and bronze my face. Next is time for blush, and I'll have 2 options, liquid blush or a powder blush. Liquid blush I tend to use more often in winters like this one from e.l.f. and the powder blush during summers like this one from Milani. I have pink shade and peach shade. With these shades from Milani, I don't really need to use a highlighter, so I'll skip that step. I use a blush brush from Morphe to apply my blush. Now it's time to set up my face with a setting powder. So for that, I'll use a Kosas brightening powder. Now I set up my face with a setting spray, and especially in winter, I like to use something more hydrating like this one from the MAC or Maybelline Matte Setting Spray for summers. Now I'll apply my mascara. And the reason why I do at this very end, while applying setting spray, you need to close your eyes. And with that, the mascara tends to spread all over the face. Hence, I'll do this after applying the setting spray. So a little tip here hopefully helps you to do the same. Now it's the best part, the lipstick. I first choose a dark brown shade like this one from Fenty Beauty or something from NYX, where I outline my lips and fill in the lip with the color depending upon the occasion. I can do a separate video on all my lipstick collection. Let me know in the comment section below. But here are my top picks for everyday collection. So if I'm going with a pinky cool tone look, I like to use this one from the Makeup by Mario, and for my warm days I'll go with the peach color like this one from Jason Wu. Or if I want something like a nude, I have the Natasha Denona I Need a Nude lipstick or a Fenty Beauty lip balm stick. So hopefully this video was helpful. If you like it, please subscribe and like, and stay tuned for my next video.